I know you said that the machine take like 220, and if you be like 230, it went
We went a little above that.
and then it worked.
No, it can work, yeah.
I have a question. I heard from what I understand that some places, hospitals, in order to get, just, they need to have therapy like at first for weeks or months on end before you even try one of these. Is that correct?
So I guess it would depend on
And you have to have a certain movement in your legs.
okay. So technically speaking, you don't have to have any movement in your legs to get inside Atelant.
So is there a remote control?
Yes. So the way it works, it's a great question. So there are two things that drive the exoskeleton. So this is just a plastic box, but inside the plastic box, you have sensors that can feel the motion like that, and this will go inside the jacket that will be there, so in your back. And so when you move your back, it will move this little box, and from this motion, the exoskeleton will understand orders or what to do. So this is how you drive the exoskeleton. For people who have trouble moving the upper or the torso, we can either put it a little higher, or the person that operates the session can also use it here or herself. And then we have this remote control that moves between the different modes of the exoskeleton. So we have a couple modes, like there is a installation mode during which the exoskeleton will not move at all. There is a stand-up mode where the exoskeleton will be waiting for your command to lean forward, and on that command it will get up. And then there is a walking mode. So this is the way the exoskeleton is driven. As to your question of how much time do you need to get inside the exoskeleton, so I guess it depends on any medical team decision to decide to say this person is ready to get inside the exoskeleton. What I know is that for a lot of teams, precocity is an extremely important driver of rehabilitation.
What is it? What?
Precocity, like how early you mobilize and you verticalize people who have had traumas or
So the earlier your injury is better than the later.
that's what the literature says, the medical literature. And to get inside the exo, you don't need any strength. The exo will lift you up no matter what. So theoretically speaking, you could get inside the Atelant, inside this exoskeleton, not necessarily other exoskeletons, because other exoskeletons have some limitations, which basically boil down to they don't have the balance algorithm that we have. So to use those other exoskeletons, you need to have crutches or a walker on which you will support your weight. And so for that, obviously you need some strength in the upper body. You need a lot of coordination because you need to move the crutches in sync with the walk. Here, you don't have any crutches. You don't need anything. The exoskeleton can do everything for you. It can also reduce the assistance it provides, because then that's when you are going to work. But it can do everything for you, and so theoretically speaking, and depending on how the doctors and the physios and the medical staff approach the issue, you could get inside the exoskeleton very early. And actually we're in discussion with a couple teams in ICU, because they want to verticalize their patients as soon as possible, and they see this as a pathway toward that goal. And we should always remember that such a device really is a tool. It's not an end, it's a tool to get up, it's a tool to walk.
Like one of those standing things.
Yeah. I think it's a great tool, and I spent 10 years developing it, so I wouldn't disparage it, but it's a tool for the physios, it's a tool for the patients, and hopefully to get good outcome out of it, but it's not an end in and of itself.
I'm just curious, how these things that I've heard can cost upwards of 250,000.
No, 60,000.
At least something like that.
So there is a lot of technology inside it, so it can be expensive. Yes.
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 What if they have high tone, like if the legs can't bend?
So, sorry.
If they have high tone, like the legs can't bend, is it able to bend legs?
Yes, it's a. So, what do you mean bend legs?
Some people have like when there's extension, they go to extension fully.
Okay.
Or is it able to bend the leg itself, or how
Yes.
does that work with like
Yeah.
extension wise?
Yeah. So it's pretty powerful. So you can get inside the device and try to resist it. It's pretty powerful. Yes. So there is one criteria to get inside the exo is not to have spasticity above 3 on the modified Ashworth scale.
Oh, so it needs to be low specificity, right?
Sorry?
It needs to be low specificity on your legs then.
Yes.
Low, okay.
Yeah.
I'm
So too much spasticity would actually be a no-go for going inside the exo. But even then, we've put some people with pretty high spasticity and
Like
it went.
5?
Yeah, it went. Sorry.
Like 5s.
So it depends because sometimes 5 because sometimes you have 5 on the modified Ashworth scale, but it's actually not so much on your legs. It's elsewhere.
Okay.
So it's really like you have to have experience like Jeanne and Brittany to know when things are perfectly okay, when things are worth trying and see if it will go okay, or if it's no go and we don't want to take any risk at all. So
How far it is for you to have a machine like this that one could do it independently?
that's a great question because that's really what we are pushing super hard to do. So I would say 2 things. Well, actually, I would say 3 things. The first one is that we never give dates that we are not super confident we can match or hold. The second one is we think it's not 10 years from now. We think it's less than that, and our investors definitely hope it's less than that. Is it 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? I wouldn't give you a date because I don't want to create any expectations that we wouldn't match. What I can tell though is that what we're doing today is very important for that goal, in the sense that the more people we bring to this cause, the more likely it is that in the end we'll be able to get that personal device on the market, because it creates a dynamic that is very powerful, and it's actually a very virtuous feedback loop, because as I said, we have like 60 engineers maybe that work on the device, and then the number one thing to motivate them, do you know what it is? Can you guess?
Money?
People like us.
People like you, yeah. Money is important. Obviously, money is important because the engineers we hire, I'm not kidding when I'm telling you that they have turned down offers from Google, from Facebook, from Amazon, because this is the kind of places they could go to work. And unfortunately, we don't offer the same kind of wages or compensation than those companies. So what we can offer them is actually the very concrete feeling of bringing something of value, maybe to people like you. Not everybody wants to get inside the exo, and that's perfectly fine. We know that some people really like to use the exo, and this is a huge motivation driver for them. So that's the first thing, is that there is this very positive feedback loop. When people use the exo, it gives motivation to the engineers that develop the next version, and so on and so forth. And obviously there is also a very basic principle that the more device So we are not here to sell a device, just to be clear, but the more device we sell to hospitals, the more money we're able to raise with investors, and then the bigger the team we can assemble and stuff. So this has a lot of impact as well. And so far we've been doing great because we've had this amazing growth in hospitals in Europe, where now we have 30 units deployed, and just last year in 2022, so I said the company was created 10 years ago. Last year we deployed more units than during the 9 previous years combined. So it was quite a crazy year, and it just shows how medical teams so we're very new here in the US, so we're starting to get a few connections, but we don't have the same awareness as we have in Europe. In Europe, and particularly in France, where we started, pretty much all the medical teams from all the top hospitals are trying to get their hands on one of our devices.
How long does it take to make one?
Quite a long time, because it's a very, very big piece of equipment. But we've managed to get it down to between 2 and 3 weeks.
Okay.
So that's okay. Actually, the
You're
biggest.
still better than Tesla.
Sorry.
I said you're still better than Tesla.
That's I don't know. They are doing some amazing work, but yeah. No, the very big issue we have is not so much making the device, but sourcing the different components, and especially so now it's getting a bit better. But 18 months ago, there's been a huge crisis on some electrical components that we needed for the exoskeleton. And people like Tesla would order like 1 billion of those components. And I'm not kidding, they order 1 billion of those, and we need like 1,000. So when we went to the people selling it, they would say, sorry, but we're serving other customers first. So that was very difficult, and it's created a little bottleneck in our manufacturing, but we're slowly catching up, and we are really ramping up our manufacturing capabilities as well. So
I think that it would be best if someone would want one to size them up and build it today.
yes, so the personal version, that's definitely what we are going to do. So this version, I don't know if you can see it, but so this part of the exoskeleton can go like that, because as I said, we primarily intended for hospitals, and hospitals have many different patients. So because this part is going to move, and that part as well, it has to be aligned with your own limbs. Otherwise, you're going to feel a lot of pain.
Yeah.
So because hospitals have so many different patients, we have to have a version that can be adaptable to many different morphologies. But obviously the personal version I was talking about earlier, this would be done custom. So, it would actually be, it would save us from a lot of trouble, because having an adjustable version is actually pretty troublesome in terms of engineering, because you have to have an adjustable system that doesn't move when it's in that position, but can move easily. So these are two very opposite constraints, and it drives engineers kind of crazy. And we wouldn't need that adjustment system if we had a personal version. So definitely looking forward to when we hit that milestone.
I'm just saying now that one of these machines is so expensive that I'm just saying that you probably might come out better doing lessons instead of selling the machine. I'm just, they're having a lesson, say, well, okay, you could come 3 days a week like you had said before, and either charge that person or charge the insurance company.
Yeah.
That, and the doctor said, well, they need this, and that you could do it that way. I think as some people probably say, hey, man, I want to buy one. Well, yeah, they could. But, a lot of people probably wouldn't be able to, to afford it. But you could do it so well. If the doctor said that you need this, and that you could do it in classes, like like a therapy sometime, like, they give you like what, I think 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks therapy from, Medicare, I think. So if you can get something developed like that, I think it'll probably be worthwhile. Then, I'm just saying, trying to sell it, because you have classes saying, well, oh man, look at a whole big line of people waiting to get in this class, and you just say, well, yeah, you get in, boom, 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 then you start walking around, tuk, 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 you know what I mean, for
So-
about maybe an hour or two,
So this is very interesting what you say, because from the so you'll be amongst the first to try Atalante in the US, but we've already had some people try it before, not like dozens, but quite a few, and amongst them, some have told us, how can I get to use that couple times per week or one times per week,
yeah.
and so we are trying to
Establish that.
think how can we make that possible.
Right, that'll be, I think that would be, I think that would be a hit for you, you know what I mean? To do it that way.
Matthew, during the development phase,
Yes.
what were some of the prior prototypes that were major inspiration for you as like foundation, if you want to share? Something that has worked before, someone to those.
So obviously we looked a lot, because the first exoskeletons company that was started in 2003, 2004, so almost 10 years before we came. So we looked a lot at what other companies have done, and I would say that apart from that, personally, my inspirations are things that are easy to use, that are nice, and that work smoothly. So I don't use a lot Apple products, but I think they have an incredible design, and that it's what they've achieved is incredible. I also look a lot at Tesla, because it's very inspirational what they've done, and in a way they've changed an industry, and my ambition is to change the exoskeleton industry, because I think exoskeletons can be transformative to many people. I think you need a lot of engineering, and you need to really have an amazing product to get to that point. And I think the reach can be like amazingly wide in terms of how many people it can help. But so far, it hasn't helped that many people, because there are so many constraints and requirements and stuff that prevent. So it hasn't. This industry hasn't touched or impacted the lives of as many people as I think it can, and that's what I want to change. Basically, I want exoskeletons to be able to impact positively way more lives, and in a way bigger way.
Right.
Yeah, in
Right.
way bigger ways. Like,
Yeah.
we could be talking time, like how much time you use it per day or per week, or the impact of using it. But I think it can have a lot more impact, and I think with the right approach and the right support from the ecosystem, it can get to a place that not many people imagine. And okay, I'll tell you something. Recently we had a strategic seminar with the top management from Monofa, and we tried to decide, okay, what are our strategic axes? What do we really want to work on? And so we defined 3, and one was what we called hundreds of thousands. And the idea is that for too long people have considered exoskeletons to be devices that could be relevant for a couple hundred people, but we think it can be relevant for hundreds of thousands of people, and that's where we want to get, and that's really one of the strategic axes of the company right now.
See, my biggest thing is, I hope in my lifetime that I would get in a machine to help me, to help me walk. And don't use this no more. Don't use the wheelchair. I just don't wanna get in a machine and then I have to get out of the machine and get back into the chair.
Yeah.
See, that's my big.
It's temporary. This is not even temporary. This is just like a, for people. It's not permanent, right?
No.
No,
I
that's
know,
the thing.
I'm just saying, what that's
you
what
feel.
I'm looking for.
Of course.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm looking for, you know what I mean, something to keep me walking,
Yes.
you know? And say, I just say, goodbye, wheelchair, goodbye.
Okay. No, I understand. I feel you. Because ultimately, that's our goal as well. And I think it depends on people. Some people see the world as progressively increasing or like a continuous evolution, and some people see like thresholds, like steps, major steps. I think that's it's easier to go progressively, like maybe have something, and that's actually that's what you said. So maybe you're more of a former person than the latter. But what you said was, what about using it a couple hours per week at the beginning? And obviously the goal is to say goodbye to the wheelchair. I just want to be realistic in what I discuss with people, because I don't want to tell you, okay, in 18 months you won't need a wheelchair anymore and it will be that's the end goal, definitely. And do I think we can get there? Definitely. Again, with the right support from the community. And I think this community is really tight knit, is really powerful when it gets united behind a goal, and has some amazing people inside it. So I really believe we can get to that point. My feeling is that the most likely will be a gradual approach, where you will start using it a couple hours per week, then a couple hours per day, then like full half days, and then maybe full days and non-stop. I guess it's the same, so that's why Tesla is kind of an inspiration as well. You don't just go full automatic driving with Tesla yet, right?
Mhm.
But you're getting closer and closer.
Right.
And it's because you learn as you go. So like now Tesla has an immense fleet of vehicles, so they can really understand the boundaries and what they can do and what they can do to get to the next level and the next level.
Right.
And yeah. You want to hear a story? So Françoise, the person I was telling you about, the first patient that got inside that tunnel. So at the time, 1.5 was like 15 people, 1.5. And this was the first person that was supposed to use this. And so we had designed a clinical trial to have a framework within which doing this. And so there was a site where she was supposed to come, and we were supposed to bring the exo, and we were supposed to put her in the exo. And so at that time, we had, so what happened there in 5 minutes, the algorithms working and stuff like that, it would take approximately 2.5 weeks to get the results. So we would take the measurement from the person, and 2.5 weeks later, we would maybe, because it didn't work every time, so we would maybe have an answer that was, okay, we have ways to make that person. And so we had to take the measurement 2.5 weeks in advance, and maybe it would, so that time it worked. And then we would come, I think there were, from the 15 people, 13 came to the trial site. And you needed like 3 people behind a computer, 6 people around Françoise herself to set her in the exo. So this was what was required 5 years ago. 13 person, to get one person to stand up. Now, so today we have Jeanne and Brittany, but
Okay.
Jeanne on her own can get people.
Right, that's a big improvement.
Yeah, that's a big improvement, and hopefully we can keep
Yeah,
on that.
keep improving.
Yeah, we can keep improving. Hopefully, I think we can.
Yeah. You have to have that vision, you got that vision.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. We could do one more if it's okay. Any question?
And this, produced by battery,
Here's all the
right?
questions.
That's a battery operated.
Yes, yes. So the small blocks you
Napping
can see
until
here.
the shit start. Because Rome asking everything.
How long does it last, the battery?
2 hours, something like that.
2 hours.
How long it take to charge?
Yeah, you got, one thing that's making the longer battery, like 2 hours.
Did you say 2 hours or 12?
See, Rome's idea is to walk around the clock for 8 hours and shit. I don't think
They
that's
call
that.
out in that bulk, that battery ran out, but you have to have another one, I guess, to,
Yeah, you crazy.
So these are the batteries. This is one block. Maybe you see, but one is there and the other is here.
we have two.
Yeah, we have two.
Right.
We only need one, but so if one gets disconnected, the other one can do the whole work, but it will discharge.
Automatically, or you have to?
No. It will just get discharged twice as fast.
Okay.
But yeah, it's very easy to fix. And
Okay,
to-
yeah.
This one will be 2 hours and 2 hours?
No. 2 hours when the two batteries are available. Two and a half. Depends on what you do, because if you do
Too
motions,
much, yeah, too much.
Yeah.
You're
Short
doing
life.
dancing real fast.
Wait till never Jerome done.
Huh?
Right?
Never. So wait till he's done.
so I had.
I think you're doing good, though. I think you're doing good. I think you're doing good.
Let me
I
get.
like you have that vision, you got a good vision. Yeah, but you know, he said he gotta weigh, what, 220? I think I'm at 230. But you about what, 210?
Now
You
you
too
see the
funky?
baking soda having this measurement,
Mama, I was 240.
the machine adjusting to the person's needs. How easy is for the user to get?
Back to the meat thing again.
I think the best
Dance
way.
over.
You're right. Michael. I think the best.
Mhm.
The best answer is for Michael. What would Michael tell us?
Oh my god.
Hey,
Wow.
Do you want me to?
Nice.
you
You
can,
have to look nice. But I have videos and all that stuff. How you feel?
Yeah. But I can't feel it. Well,
Any dizziness like?
no. I'm leaning forward.
Yeah. So we have basically.
That's a morning stand.
Shall we dance?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Everybody, this is Mike's.
I like it now.
Mike, when you get all set up, you can go get me a sandwich.
All right.
That's wild.
Wait, I'm starting for the next one.
Yeah, right? You can now reach the sink to do the dishes. Back to work. Better that way?
better than the stand, Mike.
Huh?
So that's better than the stand.
It is. Yes.
See, they had this just as RoboCop, so they had it since then. They should have a lot of
How
shit
did you
now.
feel to stand up?
Good.
Was it hard?
No. It was great. This is only the second time it's stood.
Wow.
I did it in the stand.
We have a standing thing here which we have the participants use when they are coming to this class.
Okay.
All right.
It'll-
Yeah, man.
We are doing it in switching up.
I guess I'll speak loud enough, start over here. There are a couple of different versions of walking that we have. The first one we're gonna be using is something we call early gait. It's gonna feel like very small steps that we'll just use at first to make you feel comfortable and readjust us within the space. Then as you feel fit, we'll progress to something that feels more like natural physiologic gait.
All my phones out and shit, like, it's crazy how the year changed.
To begin, you're gonna sit up nice and tall just as you are, leaning forward when you're ready, and the device will begin to walk.
When you want.
Up tall, 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 and forward.
Oh.
Hey, man.
Got it. And I'm gonna stop. How are you feeling, Mike?
Oh, fantastic. It's so great.
Feeling great? And that's just the early gait. Those are just the small steps.
Oh.
So what we can do next is we can begin to turn towards the right, towards your friends that you have, so that we can take more space for walking.
Right, Mike. let me
In order
see.
to do that,
You guys may want to move your chairs back a little.
we will come towards you.
Okay, they're going through the left, so you're good. Okay.
And now we'll go back for forward walk. Ready? Is that same gait okay? Is that same small steps okay to begin?
Sure.
Okay. Up nice and tall. When you're ready, lean your body forward. Quick. One more time. Up, 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 and forward.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Right.
Eyes up, chest up, and forward.
All right.
You got those arms straight again.
Exactly.
Tall chest.
How do you feel, Mike?
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm
Since
walking.
the beginning, we had a slight smile, so
Yeah.
I could see that it's fine.
It just feels like I'm walking.
Yeah.
You're walking.
I told him like 100 times, but I think he wants to see his feet moving.
Eyes up, eyes up. Very proud.
Trying to look up.
Your way.
No, when we used to walk, we don't see anymore our feet.
Right.
And I understand that you want to see them.
Yeah.
But normally when you walk, you just, look up. Yes, exactly, and swing your arms. Exactly. That is perfect.
That's crazy.
Nice job.
That is so great.
What would you like to do next? Do you want to turn around and do some more walking?